If you're a man over 40 who's struggling to lose chest fat, then listen up, because in this video, I'm gonna share 5 simple steps to lose those man boobs fast and permanently. But first, let's quickly go over what exactly man boobs are and what's causing them. Man boobs are essentially excess mass that cause your pecs to look soft or protrude awkwardly, and they stem from 2 things. The first is unwanted chest fat, which occurs when excess adipose tissue accumulates in the lower pec. This is much like the extra fat around your waist, and it can cause your chest to sag and lose definition, and it's typically a result of being at a higher body fat percentage. The second is gynecomastia, which is the growth of glandular tissue in the chest caused by hormonal imbalances. When testosterone levels are too low relative to estrogen, the excess estrogen promotes the growth of breast tissue in men. So now that we understand what man boobs are and what's causing them, let's jump into the 5 simple steps you can take to get rid of them permanently. Step number 1. Cut down body fat. Since man boobs are typically caused by excess fat accumulation, it makes sense then that we must reduce our body fat levels. That said, if you've already lost a significant amount of fat, but your chest is still puffy and soft, don't fret. You see, body fat distribution varies by sex, race, and ethnicity, including individual differences in biological maturation and age. Thus, some people are naturally prone to storing fat in their chest, while others may store more in their hips or legs. So, if your chest fat is being stubborn, it simply means you'll need to be a bit more patient with your fat loss. The key is to maintain a calorie deficit over a long enough period of time, and there are 2 ways to maintain a caloric deficit. First, by reducing food intake or calories in, and second, by increasing physical activity or calories out. Decreasing your food intake is straightforward. Ideally, you should aim for around 300 to 500 calories below your maintenance level. This slight deficit makes eating more sustainable, helping you shed the fat without having to starve yourself in the process. Next, increasing your daily physical activity like doing cardio allows you to maintain a calorie deficit while still eating a bit more. Keep in mind, however, that when you're in a calorie deficit, your body may reduce spontaneous movement. This is known as metabolic adaptation. To combat this, on top of doing cardio, aim for a consistent daily step goal, which will help maintain your energy expenditure, supporting your fat loss efforts. When it comes to cardio, research shows that high-intensity exercise produces notable reductions in body fat, even with the same frequency as lower-intensity training. Another study supports that 200 to 300 minutes of low to moderate exercise weekly can effectively promote long-term weight loss. Simply put, any intensity of cardio can work for fat loss as long as you're consistent. Step number 2, build more muscle. Even if you've got a bit of chest fat left, more muscle in that region will help tighten things up. Think of it like your abs. It doesn't matter how well developed they are if they're hidden under a layer of fat. But when you pack on quality muscle in your chest, that size and shape will stand out, creating a hard, muscular look that no amount of fat alone can replicate. For the best results, incorporate both horizontal presses and flies to comprehensively target the pecs. For your pressing exercise, I recommend going for a low incline press, as this pressing variation develops all heads of your chest. In one study from the International Journal of Exercise Science, researchers discovered that both flat and incline presses led to similar muscle growth in the middle and lower chest. Additionally, the incline press also resulted in greater growth in the upper chest, making it a well-rounded press variation. And since the pecs benefit from being maximally stretched under load, adding a fly variation might be a good idea. For this, I recommend a bench cable fly over a traditional dumbbell fly. This variation combines the stability of a traditional dumbbell fly with the rep quality of a standing cable fly. With that said, make sure you're following a well-balanced training routine, as building overall muscle mass will help sustain a lean physique with less effort. This is because muscle mass is metabolically demanding, meaning it helps you burn more calories and makes it easier to keep fat off, including the stubborn chest fat. Step number 3. Optimize your nutrition. Diet plays a critical role in supporting testosterone production, and one way to optimize it is by eating enough fat. In fact, multiple studies have shown that higher fat diets lead to increased testosterone levels in men. This is because cholesterol, a dietary fat component, is one of the building blocks for testosterone production. Thus, healthy dietary fats from sources like beef, eggs, and nuts help keep testosterone up, balancing estrogen and reducing the likelihood of excess tissue accumulating in the chest. And if that wasn't enough, one 2021 meta-analysis showed that low-fat diets can reduce testosterone levels in men. So, as a simple rule of thumb, aim to get around 25 to 35% of your total calories from fats. Another thing we want to accomplish with our nutrition is inhibiting aromatase, which is the enzyme responsible for converting testosterone into estrogen. By reducing aromatase activity, you can lower estrogen levels, making it less likely to develop or exacerbate gynecomastia. Studies have shown that herbs like fenugreek and nettle root have the potential to inhibit aromatase. According to this study, nettle root inhibits the binding of testosterone to sex hormone binding globulin, thereby also increasing free testosterone levels. With that, you may also want to avoid certain foods that contain phytoestrogens. One case study, for example, reported that a man's gynecomastia resolved after he stopped drinking soy milk. Additionally, protein-rich foods provide the nutrients needed to build and maintain muscle in the chest and beyond. If you want to maximize muscle growth, make sure you're eating enough protein, around 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight daily. Step number 4, check your hormone levels. If your man boobs are due to hormonal imbalances, it's likely a result of high estrogen levels. This can be triggered by an increased rate of testosterone converting into estrogen, a process called aromatization. But before jumping to conclusions, your first step should be to see a doctor. A simple blood test will provide clarity on your hormone levels. If your levels are only slightly off, the adjustments we've covered in this video should suffice. If they're a bit more severe, you may need to focus on key vitamins and minerals like vitamin D, zinc, and magnesium. Studies have shown that men with adequate levels of vitamin D have higher testosterone, while having lower vitamin D levels is linked to lower testosterone. This study showed that while zinc deficiency can lead to lower testosterone levels, supplementing with zinc can increase testosterone. And research indicates that regular magnesium intake boosts testosterone levels in both active and inactive individuals. Interestingly, they also found that the increase in testosterone is even greater for those who exercise compared to those who don't. And step number 5, manage stress. When you're under constant stress, your body releases cortisol, a hormone that not only encourages fat storage, but also suppresses testosterone production. Over time, this hormonal imbalance can worsen and completely derail your fat loss and muscle growth efforts. Thus, to keep cortisol in check and protect your testosterone, consider making these key lifestyle changes. First, incorporate stress relief activities. Low-intensity exercise like walking or yoga can help lower cortisol without adding strain to your system. Even just 10 to 15 minutes of meditation or just basking in the sun can make a significant difference. Second, monitor your caffeine intake. While caffeine can enhance your training performance, too much or poorly timed caffeine intake can spike cortisol, amplifying stress. So keep caffeine consumption moderate and avoid it late in the day. And lastly, optimize your sleep. This study found that low testosterone is linked to poor sleep, and high cortisol can make it even worse. Another study showed that men sleeping around 5 hours a night can experience up to a 15% drop in testosterone levels. Thus, I recommend aiming for 7 to 9 hours of high quality sleep per night. So there you have it. 5 simple steps to losing man boobs permanently. Did you find this video helpful? If so, click the like button below as it'll truly help out the channel. Also, if you're a man in your 40s, 50s, 60s, or beyond who's tired of spinning their wheels, spending countless hours in the gym to no avail, then I'd love to work with you. Over the years, I've helped thousands of men just like you to get into the best shape of their life by burning fat, gaining muscle, and optimizing their hormones. As you can imagine, I can only take a handful of clients, so I'm looking for serious individuals only. That said, I've linked a short information page below where you can get more details about how this all works and fill out the application form to see if we'd be a good fit to work together. So if that's you and you're ready to take action and finally achieve the results you know are possible, then click the link below, fill out the short application form, and let's get started. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe for more videos and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next one. Peace.